Has it blown you away to see Abby's popularity? I mean, it's funny because there's so many procedurals on TV. NCIS obviously has just built this massive following, but Abby's also built like this massive following, and she's become just a favorite. When you took that part, could you have imagined that that was something that was going to be the case?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, I really did. I felt that way about the show, and I felt that way about Abby because, first of all I do pretty much in life, other than all the rest of the stuff I do, is watch TV. So I consider myself an expert. I love television. I love it. Like I love watching TV. And when I read the script, I'm like, this is awesome. Like it's at first when we first started, people were like, what? It's like a military drama, but it's hilarious. It's a comedy. Like we're no idea what to think. And then once you start watching, you get hooked. But I knew when I read the character of Abby, just in the very, very beginning, I was like, oh, this is good. And like, not only was I going to love it and love playing her, but I was like, people are going to love her. And the creator of the show, Don Belisario, had said, everybody kept asking me where the character came from. So I actually interviewed him and said, where'd the character come from? He created Quantum Leap. He created, Magnum PI, and he has this thing of totally. But he has this thing about like reversing stereotypes, and he said what he told me was when he created Magnum PI, he wanted to show a Vietnam veteran or a war veteran that because he thought the media was not treating them fairly, and somebody who was just in his shirt being a detective carrying on about his life. And so then when about Abby, he said that he thought that like creative and alternative youth weren't being represented right in the media. They were always like thieves or thugs or junkies or whatever. So he wanted a character on TV that was like this young, tattooed, creative, alternative being that's like brilliant, a brilliant forensic scientist. She's an expert at botany and biology and chemistry and ballistics and every kind of thing in the world, and she goes to church and she bowls with nuns. So it was about flipping a stereotype. And right when I read it, I'm like, I love this. And I do.
By the way, this was your first book, and what was it like for you guys putting this together? I mean, it's a really nice, creative, cool book, but the process of it, what was it like?
It was long and laborious. I mean, there was a lot, especially for Matthew. This one here. Yeah, Matthew, like, the putting a cookbook together, which I have learned, I didn't have to do this part, but it is, we want to get everything right. So working with Simon & Schuster, going through every single recipe, having everything baked over and over again, makes everything's perfect. And then when you do it at home, it turns out exactly like that. And then also, us writing our stories was, it was very hard. I remember calling Matthew and Darren a few times and just saying, sorry, like this is really hard for me because I do go through, losing my mom, and it goes back to a lot of really, really heavy stuff. And it goes back to like me being like this restless teenager and a lot of things that weren't easy to write down. So, it's a very, very personal book that's filled with some really awesome food.